Good morning, family and friends. Some of you who have been following these visions that the Lord has granted me, I had told you that I would be posting up an update. It's very important, but I'm going to cover a couple of things, and I'm going to do this as quick as possible. Firstly, I'm going to share with you the vision that He gave me 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we went to a different state because my oldest son had to go to Hawaii. And I went to bed that night. I'm going to tell you about the vision, and then I'm going to give you the discernment that I received from the Lord as confirmation, solid confirmation. So I was praying that night. We drove in. It was getting late. I was getting tired. I prayed. I was in prayer. And the Lord showed me a very quick vision, but very clear. And what it was if you can envision what I found out to be the $20 bill, because, you know, as you get older, you don't really pay attention to what dead presidents on bills. But how I received the vision was just as I received the other visions. It looks like what appears to be a screen. From the right side of the screen to the left, this still, this, like a film, it moves slowly across the screen, and it was a $20, what I found out to be a $20 bill, $20 bill. It was just the corner of the $20 bill, and it was singed around the corner of the bill. And it moved from the right to the left, and as it was moving from the right to the left, as he was showing me this image, the facial gestures of the dead president lit up. It like came alive, and his eyes were very open, like he was trying to get my attention. I mean, I knew that instantly that he was, you know, doing the wide-eyed thing to get my attention. And so the image was of this president's eyes really wide open, and as he was going across the screen from the right to the left. I didn't recognize which president that was. Call it, you know, just I'm not really like a historic buff or anything. So anyhow, at that moment, I said silently to the Lord, "Is that a Benjamin?" And as the Lord would have it, he will indicate to me in my spirit whether if I'm on the right track or if I'm not on the right track. And he said, no, it's not a Benjamin. So I knew at that point that I would have to look this up, because again, when you receive these visions, you try to grasp everything in sight from what he's showing you. So of course, at that time, I didn't know that it was Andrew Jackson, actually. I found out it was Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill. Okay, so again, the still came from the right to the left. It was this president. His eyes were wide open. It was only the corner of the bill, and it was singed like it had been burnt. Okay, so in the morning, I fell asleep. In the morning, I woke up and I declared the vision to my husband, as the Lord has instructed me to do with all of the visions that he gives me. I understand now that the reason he does that is because when I have to repeat and I have to declare the vision, he tends to fill my spirit with more information that I might have missed at the time that the vision was granted to me. I'm going to look at my notes because this is really important. And again, I'm going to try to do this as fast as possible because I know that we all lead very busy lives. Okay. So in researching after I had declared that with my husband, I went to go and look and see if there was hidden messages in these bills. Okay. Now I knew that I had the the president wrong, because in fact the Lord assured me that Benjamin was too how can I say, it was too chunky. So he was telling me, no, that's not the right president. And so I said, okay. So in the morning when I declared it, I started to look up images of the bills because I wanted to make sure, I wanted to see the person that I had seen on that bill, because I didn't recognize him. Like I said, I'm not a historical buff, with our president, stuff like that. So I go to look at the images, and Andrew Jackson pops up in being correct in my mind because of his face and because of his eyes. I identified with it at that particular moment. So I looked up on the internet about if there was any hidden messages, because his eyes were so defined in this vision. So when I looked up about hidden messages in the $20 bill, they have found that when you fold the $20 bill in a particular way, that it shows images that mirror, almost identical to 9/11. In the narrative of the video, the person giving that video states, well, if you think about 9/11, how eerie is it that when you do 9 plus 11, it equals the $20 bill, $20, I should say, not $20 bill, but 20. And how crazy is it that that is depicted on the $20 bill? Okay, so now, anytime I have these visions, they accompany research. And so when I was looking at the hidden messages, all of that, I was doing some other research on it to see what the Lord was putting on my spirit to validate. And I had actually asked the Lord throughout the day. I was in prayer, and I had asked for more discernment because I didn't feel comfortable in coming to you all to share what the Lord was showing me through this vision. So at night we were getting ready for dinner, and we had shown the kids, we had my youngest and his wife, we were showing them a particular video where it discloses about this movie that they tried to bring to light. Unfortunately, it's called Gray State, and what the producer was trying to capture in that was a warning for America of what was going on behind the scenes. Now, unfortunately, that producer, his wife and his child were murdered. Okay, but if you look up about Gray State, you'll get more insight. Okay. You'll understand what I'm talking about, because I can't get into all of that. But this family, I know it in my heart that they were killed. The producer depicted things that the elite did not want disclosed out there. He really pushed the envelope. He covered RFID, he covered martial law, he covered the encampments, he covered all of that. But what he also covered, okay, which I didn't know at the time, because my husband and I had already watched this video like 2 nights before, and I didn't know that the Lord was going to show me this cornered bill of Andrew Jackson. Well, as we were playing it last night before dinner for the kids, because we want them to be knowledgeable, we want them to prepare spiritually and physically for what's coming. We hear on this video the lady say that Andrew Jackson was the Grand Master of excuse me, hold on just 1 minute, honey, I'm recording. Yeah, I'll try to text her. Okay, bye. So sorry about that. Okay, let me get back on track. So in doing my research, and we were showing the kids this video, we had totally missed that this gal, who is just awesome, she has so much research. She backs up everything that she says. Okay, she doesn't just talk. No, she shows you proof. Okay, now she goes in to say about, she goes on to reveal that Andrew Jackson was considered the Grand Master of the Freemasons. Okay, now do your homework on Freemasons, because that tells you a lot in what's happening. Okay, I can't get into all of that. You have to do your homework, sincerely. However, in my discernment, I found that President Jackson was actually our 7th president. Many of you know from my testimonies, and also the visions that the Lord has sent me. He sends me a lot of things with the number 7 as validation. So he not only was the 7th president, however, he was considered, and he is considered still to this day, the Grand Master of the Freemasons. But he also organized the Trail of Tears. Now, if you look that up, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Again, I can't get into all of that stuff because it's too much to cover, and I have a lot to share with you today. The Trail of Tears was literally a genocide of the Native Americans. Okay? Pay attention to that. It's important. The genocide of the Native Americans. Okay? Now, if you've been following these videos, you know that the Lord had given me one about Obama and his red wedding comment at the dinner that they had. And that video is crucial to this one because it parallels what he was showing me with the red wedding message that he gave me. And that also had to do with a massacre that happened. That's why it's called Red Wedding. He had given me the St. Bartholomew massacre. But nevertheless, you just have to look up those things if you haven't watched that video. It's important. It's very important that you watch these in sequential order so you understand what the Lord is giving me and the order in which he's giving it to me. Okay, I'm going to move forward, okay? When my husband and I heard, after having been played this particular video now for the 3rd time, and then we hear the gal say, Andrew Jackson, I turned around and I looked at my husband and I went, oh my God, what? That was the validation that I had asked the Lord in prayer all day. I told him that I needed more discernment in order for me to come forward and share this vision of the $20 bill and what it meant. Okay? Now, going back to the $20 bill and how he presented it to me, it was singed because I later found out 9/11. Many people have looked into 9/11 and they believe that 9/11 was an implosion. Okay, along with, of course, the planes going into the Twin Towers. But there was also a building that had not been hit. Okay, look into this. This is the truth. Look into this because I didn't know about this until the Lord shone the light for me on this. There was a building on the side of, and I mean, there was pretty good space in between. Okay, I mean, a lot of space in between. If you look at the proof from that day, there was another building that literally imploded to the ground, having not received any of the blows of the planes. Okay, please seek knowledge. The Lord will provide it for you. I mean it. I'm nobody special, and I'm telling you right now, if you ask the Lord for discernment, he will give it to you. He will give it to you. Yes, it might take a couple of times, but he will disclose the truth for you. You have to seek him with all your heart. Okay, so then clearly it became clear after me declaring my vision to my husband, asking in prayer for discernment all day. This was the validation that the Lord was giving me of Andrew Jackson. Okay, I'm going to try to change the screen. Oh, because that light is just really shining on me. Okay, so this was the solid confirmation that I needed from the Lord in order to come forward and share this with you. But there are key elements, okay? Very quickly, I understood then, only then did I understand that the singed part of the $20 bill, and it was a corner, it wasn't a whole $20 bill, was the Lord was discerning with me that the corner represented, this is right around the corner. Their plans are right around the corner. The singed part was showing me the implosion parallels to 9/11. When you look at the $20 bill and you fold it a certain way, it shows literally the Twin Towers blowing up. Okay, So moving forward to some key information that you all need to know about just to be safe, okay? It's information that the media has put out there as a warning, as an alert to be aware about, okay? For this Friday, July the 16th of 2016. Again, add those numbers. They're sevens, okay? This is how the Lord communicates. If you are a watchman, you know this because the Lord will communicate in threes, and he will use a lot of his messages through the number 7 to let you know that it's coming from him, okay? Okay, so to move forward, this is what you need to just prepare, just to be safe, and because I don't know where every viewer is watching this from, okay? So these are really important because if this is happening in your state, you want to be just alert, okay? Just be alert, be safe. It was announced that there's a movement and an announcement for 37 cities to participate in what they have called Rage Day. That's this Friday, June the 16th of 2016. You can confirm this through many outlets now, that they have confirmed that this is a serious threat. And it all has to do with the Black Lives Matters movement. They're trying to get other people involved in this day of rage, okay? Also, the convention has to do with Black Lives Matter, and that's taking place in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so that's another place. Remember, the 37 cities, when you look that up, you'll see whether your city's listed on that list. Okay? Excuse me. The third third cause for awareness is there is also a major event that Pope Francis even not only has been promoting, but if you look up the Together event in Washington, D.C. for Friday, July the 16th of 2016, you'll see that the Pope also, there's a picture out there of him promoting the event, holding a t-shirt of the Together event. Okay, that's what it's called, Together. This Together event, it will be in Washington, D.C. They're attempting to fill up the area in the vicinity of the National Mall Monument. It's free to the public, and it's from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Now, there is also, how can I say, they're concerned that they're going to try to do this all in the same day. All of these three things are in the same day. Let me recap. The 37 cities, look that up and see if your city is on the list for this Friday, for the Day of Rage. The second bullet is the convention in Cleveland, Ohio. The money that they have poured into that is astronomical, okay, for security and everything else. It's the most that they have ever put in a budget to put in place. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. I got to hurry. And then, of course, the Together event in Washington, D.C. All of these three things are on the same day. This Friday, okay, 2 days from now. All right, no, I think it's tomorrow, right? Yeah, tomorrow. Let's see here. Let me see. July. So it's July. Today is Thursday, July 14th. It's actually July the 15th, I believe. There's something screwy with my dates. Anyhow, I apologize for that. Anyhow, beyond these warnings, I'm going to leave it at I was in prayer last night. Okay, now this prayer validated something that I had sent a prayer request to the Lord, and he gave me a solid validation regarding my oldest son. That's more personal. I'm not going to get into that. However, I'm trying to tell you and paint a picture for you to understand how strong the Lord was with me last night. I ended up going to sleep after he had given me the validation of our son. Now, this is where it's hard for me, okay, to have to be one of the ones to give you this visual. But I need you to stick with me, and I need you to understand how very serious this is. The shift in which the Lord has taken with us, the watchmen, to prepare his people to get ready and get right with him, okay, to go back to him, is absolutely crucial. I cannot, and honestly, many people will not understand until the rapture happens, because what the government is going to give as an explanation is because of all the devastation, all of these people can't be accounted for. Understand that they are not going to tell you that the Bible is real, that they've known the prophecy has been fulfilling, and that these people have gone missing because of the rapture. They're not going to admit that. Okay, we have swayed way far from Christianity, if you haven't noticed here in the last couple years. Extremely. So they're not about to validate the Christianity so-called myth of the Bible. The Bible is real and it's gospel, and it is. Everything is happening according to the prophecy. Okay? You won't understand this until many people have been raptured. Okay? So what the Lord showed me was an aerial view of California. Okay? I could see the city, what appeared to be literally rototilled is how I can describe it, and the city was in orange, and so it was like it would almost look like it had been singed somehow, but it looked totally demolished. It was literally, the aerial view that the Lord gave me in this dream was an overview of the Los Angeles area, and I knew this to be because of the knowing that he gives me when I'm having these visions or I'm having these prophetic dreams. So I knew it was Los Angeles. The aerial view that he had provided me was of Los Angeles. Just then when he showed me the view of Los Angeles and the destruction of this area, again, it was all orange, and it looked like he had taken a giant rototiller to it. I received at that particular moment in the dream, I received a surge of emotions. So much so that I woke up my husband. I guess I was making a lot of noise. I was groaning or whatever, and my husband awoke me from the dream. But before he awoke me from the dream, I felt a powerful surge of emotions, is how I can describe it. And in that surge of emotions, he showed me great grievance. From up above, I could see great grievance transpiring, sadness, confusion, but mainly regret. Regret of the people that remained, that survived this. There was so much regret in their hearts that they did not heed the warnings of the watchmen. Again, my husband had to wake me up from this dream, and the aerial view, I was granted knowing that, obviously from the scene, that the day of the Lord's wrath had come. The day of the Lord had arrived. And many, if not all, the watchmen had sounded the alarm, and so many people had ignored it. Okay, sweetie. I guess my whole point here, really stressing to you, I know that it's hard for anybody to understand how the Lord is communicating with his watchmen. If you have a watchman in your life, I know that there's a lot of feelings that come with understanding what the watchman is trying to warn. Many times we are the target of jealousy, of envy, of confusion because people don't understand it. I mean, people have said, what makes you so special? If you don't have a one-on-one relationship with the Lord daily, and you can't compare yourself to the watchman because literally the watchman is in prayer vigilantly, sometimes almost all day. I'm in prayer. I'm reading my Bible. Many times I'll be sitting there and he will give me a prophetic word while I'm reading my Bible. Unfortunately, you folks aren't going to understand until it actually happens. And I'm praying to God every day that you watch these videos in their entirety to understand and get the sense of the genuineness, the plea of please get right with God. Ask for forgiveness of your sins. Most importantly here recently, he had given me instruction that we all need to seek within our hearts and that we must not have any, the letters were NRA. And again, I giggled and I said, Lord, I know that doesn't have anything to do with guns, so please tell me, what does that mean? And he gave me the words, no remaining ailments in your heart. That saying of you reap what you sow is what he gave me. The seeds within your heart, okay, are embedded in your harvest. If you haven't noticed, the harvest is almost ripe. He's almost here to take the saints away. Those who professed repentance, those who asked to assist with the removal of anything in their hearts, any debilitating seeds within their heart, whether it was past betrayal, jealousy that you might have for somebody else, anything unpleasing to the Lord. Ask him to assist you to remove it from your heart, because when the day of judgment comes, we will each be judged by our works, but we will also be judged by the seeds that we sow in our heart. I hope that makes sense. You must clean your robes. Your robes must be as pristine as possible when he sweeps us up. If you don't address those things beforehand, you're not going to be taken in the rapture. I don't know when the rapture is. I'm not going to date set because honestly, I don't know when it is. But I do know what he's showing me. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. And I don't know when it is. I don't know when it is, but I have to sound the alarm. As a watchman, I must sound the alarm. And I'm telling you right now, it is soon. Please understand that I've already left a note behind to my family. I have encouraged other watchmen to leave personalized information for their families because people aren't going to understand when the rapture happens. They're going to be convinced by the government that it was something else. Whether they're lost in the debris of all of the chaoses to come. I'm so sorry. But if I don't give this to you raw, you're not going to understand it. I have left a 2-page letter for my family to let them know. in case that they do not deal with these ailments in their heart beforehand and they are not taken up with me. I have left instruction, further instruction with my family on what to look for and all of the key areas of concern, I should say, because I don't want to give dates. And my family has a deep understanding of what I mean. And I encourage every watchman, please leave a trail for your families. Leave footprints for them to deal with after the rapture. There's going to be a lot of destruction, and there's going to be a lot of confusion. You're going to feel like all hope is lost, but it is not. It is not. It just means that the people that were raptured were ready, and that they were spared the days of tribulation. I can't ask you more and plead with you more than I have to please read Revelations. The answers are in Revelations. Revelations is your compass. It is a timeline that the Lord provides for us even after the rapture of what's going to happen, what's going to be imposed on us. It's outlined in the Bible. Please read Revelations. I pray to God that I'm not forgetting anything, but I'm just letting you know that I know because of what the Lord is showing me, but He's also showing other watchmen. And all I can say is that every legitimate watchman, and truthfully, I haven't found or even stumbled upon a so-called watchman that has given falsified information. Because let's put it to you this way, for the doubters out there, can you imagine somebody professing to receive word from the Lord, prophetic visions and dreams from the Lord, not only to spend all this time to come forward and risk everything that they have built in their lives to bring this prophetic word to you? I can't imagine somebody going out of their way to do this out of malice or out of falsehood. I'm sorry, but I would not want that on my head. And I'm sure other watchmen would not want these people's blood on their hands, all to make up that supposedly the Lord was communicating with them. I don't see it. But I'm telling you right now, everything that the co-watchmen are seeing, everything parallels. The sounding of the alarm of the rapture is upon all of us, watchmen. We each have to sound the alarm as to what's coming. Anyhow, I pray that you watch this now, and if the good Lord takes me before the rapture, then I hope that you at least get this message at some point in time and understand. Don't let anybody fool you or your families as to what happened to all the missing. The Bible tells us what the Lord is going to do. And I'm just going to leave you with that, because this video has gone on too long, and I didn't want it this long, but I have to show you the rawness in my concern. And honestly, the Holy Spirit works so strongly within us that when we're declaring a vision, it's literally like a surge from the Lord within us. All this emotion, all this raw emotion comes out, and honestly, you can't help the tears from flowing, because He is so strong in my presence when I declare the visions, especially when I have to video them. It takes everything within me to not cry. Anyhow, if I missed anything, I will include it in here. I'm going to go ahead and close because, again, this is too long. But I love you all. I'm praying for all of us. Just, I leave you with, please know that everything I shared with you is absolutely true. And I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for your families, that you listen, that you wake up now, so that you don't have to go through the tribulations. That's my intention today, is please wake up. Wake up. I love you all. Again, I'm praying for you. God bless you.